Welcome to Spiritual Rebirth Sanctuary, a place safe for healing. And we do tarot reading, energy healing, connecting with the energies. And today we'd like to connect with the new moon in Gemini. And I'm a Gemini, so I talk a lot. No. So nice to have you guys here. And we want to talk about 4 aspects of energies that have come through to me through my channeling for this new moon coming up on Monday. And then I would like to also pull a few cards for each one of the zodiac signs. So let's take a look at the first part. So the first thing I noticed is last year I had a tree removed from my front yard. And so they came and I paid for them to dig out the tree, actually destroy it, remove it so it was gone. And this year it has grown back. It's about 2 feet tall now. Nice little bush that's about 2 feet tall, and I have no idea what it's going to turn into, but it's going to be something. So it's kind of like that rebirth, the renewal, the new. So here we have a new shrub or bush in its place. We have, growing in its place, it's kind of like a rebirth. So I heard that sometimes if you have a little fear over something new and thinking about things being new, instead think of it as moving forward. And so we're always looking forward, moving forward, going with the flow of life. And as we go with the flow and move forward, that rebirth happens in a much easier type of pattern. So that's the first lesson, is things are changing, things are becoming new. And as they become new, think of them as moving forward and onward into something grand. So number 2 is the concept of the Gemini new moon. So when I think of Gemini, I think of communication, talking, kind of like coming forward with your thoughts. What are you thinking about? And for me, the 2 chakras, the 2 energy centers that have to do with communication are the throat, and the throat is one of the chakras, but also the soul star, which is just above the head. Now, the soul star is where the Akashic records. We could have messages from our guides and our ancestors and our angels. The 4th dimension is connected to the soul star. And so as this connection is happening, as we're receiving these downloads and these new understandings and connections, so that has to do with communication with our higher self. And the throat has a lot to do with communication with the people that we are around. Now, the thing is remember, the communication has to do with listening as much as talking. And I think one thing I heard that I really like is, say in your conversation, I feel tired. And then you're like, I want to get to bed earlier. And then you say to the person that you're talking to, what do you think? And so when you ask that question, then you sit back and you listen. And maybe they're like, I've been wanting that too. I've been wanting to get a little more rest. Let's start going to bed a little earlier together. Or they may say, oh, well, I guess you're just going to have to do that by yourself. Or, who knows? But that's just an example. So I feel, I want, what do you think? So remember that half of or more of communication is listening, and really listening, really hearing, understanding what the person has to say. So the third thing I was thinking of and kind of being led to with this new moon in in Gemini is the concept of it's okay to not be okay. So many times we become anxious and worried when we aren't perfect. And when I kind of think about the ego that it takes to think that I'm actually supposed to be perfect is kind of silly. We are guaranteed 100% to be imperfect. So it's actually the opposite. So, attempting to be perfect and judging ourselves for not being perfect or judging others is really kind of silly, because what's perfect to me is not perfect to you. We have our own ideas, our own versions, and our own directions when it comes to knowing and understanding those kind of things. So it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to say to yourself, let's learn these lessons. Part of healing and working with shadow work is to feel the negative feelings and to move through them. Now, the ultimate goal is to be in love and light and joy and happiness. And those come to us more and more as our healing journey continues. But in the beginning, there is a lot of feeling what you're feeling, knowing what you're knowing, understanding what you're understanding in your life. So the fourth one that I'm being drawn to here in this new moon is choose yourself. So many times we may want people to choose us either in a relationship or a new job or, business opportunity, whatever it is, choose me, choose me. But really what you're saying is you're saying to your higher self, to yourself, choose me. And the more you choose me, the more you will receive the love and the beauty that's coming to you from your divine self and from the divine. And so find ways to really choose yourself. I know that in my situations, it's easy for me to say to someone I love, choose me as the one for you. But in the end, as I choose myself, all of the other things become a lot clearer. So as we move into the energies of the new moon, it's a good time for manifesting before the moon becomes big again. And as you manifest, don't be hard on yourself. Be gentle with yourself. It's okay to not be okay. And, choose yourself above everyone else, because in the end, that's the most valuable. Like, you might look at someone and think, their ego's so big. All they do is think and talk about themselves. But those people aren't really accepting themselves for who they are, and they aren't choosing themselves for who they are. They're trying to make you accept them because they have a hard time accepting themselves. So the more you accept yourself and who you really are, the more you'll be able to give to others, in the world, to be able to give around you. So giving, is a huge part of giving is to receive that love from yourself. And like I said, the throat chakra, I think we're being led to communication. Another aspect is right now we are in Mercury retrograde in Gemini, so that affects communication. So be careful with your words. Don't say something you didn't mean later. So be careful with what you say and how you say it, and move forward with grace and embrace the new. And if it's hard for you to say, I'd like something new, to say, I'd like to move forward in this opportunity. Okay, let's take a look at the tarot cards for each one of the zodiac signs. Let's start with water, fire, earth, and air. Okay, so water, We'll start with Cancer. So these are the Raven cards. Water, fire, earth, and air. So let's see, intention I'm placing into the cards. They will come out in that order. And we'll shuffle 2 more times. So I am in the process of developing a tarot class, and it talks about a lot of these things, like placing intention into the cards, reading the cards intuitively, and it's coming along really well. So if it's something you're interested in, let me know. I also do energy healing with tarot reading combined, and it really has a lot of power and kind of helps us move forward in understanding and growth. You know, I had one person mention they really helped a lot with their anxiety and all kinds of other things that have happened. They're just such a huge blessing. I know for me, the energy healing has really helped my brain, my balance, and my walking. So that has been good. All right, let's take a look here with Cancer. All right. Freedom. So those who are looking at this from perspective, Cancer can be Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or any other, like maybe for me, Cancer, I am Venus and Mars. So both my masculine and feminine could be embracing freedom at this time. So what does freedom really mean? And like I was saying before, sometimes feeling the freest is to really understand yourself and to accept yourself for exactly who you are at this moment. All right, Scorpio. Wrath. So sometimes we need to get a little angry, a little upset about what things are going on, but don't let that overcome you or overwhelm you. Bring out the righteous indignation if it helps motivate you in some way, Scorpio, but at the same time, allow the energy to flow through you, just like the water. And the third one is Pisces, isolation. So Pisces, you might have a tendency during this time period, during the new moon, to isolate yourself. You know, don't forget that there are people around you that are there to help and encourage you, and know that you're never alone. Your guides, your angels are always with you. In fact, I was like, you know, sometimes maybe we want to be a little bit more alone, but I think that even in all that, it's so nice to know that we are protected and safe. Okay, fire. So Aries, sacred space. So Aries, you need to find your sacred space. Look for that internal place where you feel safety and secure. It's very interesting. Sometimes we think that we'll find security in places that we don't. For example, I know someone who was working for a large company, but in 2008, when the crash happened, they were pretty much all removed, fired from the company. And when that happened, they didn't have that safety, security. They didn't have their sacred space anymore at their job. They'd lost it. And what would really have saved them is if they were following their passion, following their drive, following their conviction. So, that the place that you think is safe and secure and sacred may not be the case. Okay, Sagittarius. So caching. So Sagittarius, there may be something that you need to plant and watch to see how it grows. It might be that there's some stuff that needs to be hidden and brought to light later. Maybe you don't need to tell everybody everything that's going on right now. All right. The third fire sign. Why am I drawing a blank? Leo. Sorry. Mimicry. Okay. This bird is mimicking the dog. And so the dog might think there's another dog around that is trying to find. So there may be somebody in your life that's not being who they actually are. They're pretending they're something else. And so be careful, or it might be you. So Leo, watch for somebody or something that might be being false to you. Okay, Earth signs, Capricorn. Soar. So in all of your careful figuring things out, don't forget to soar. Rise above the turmoil that may be happening in your life and go toward the goal. Virgo. So during this time of the new moon, there might be a little bit of a battle or a conflict in your life. Look for those who will help you, to give you aid in this situation. Knowing that you are able to handle anything that comes your way. Taurus. So it's time to take a look at yourself and meet your needs. So how I was talking about earlier, that oftentimes people who are like really into themselves and you kind of are like, oh my God, does she ever think of anyone else? It's probably a person that feels really low, really unhappy, and like they don't get the benefits they need. So when you are taking care of yourself, that's when you're able to give more to others. All right, so the air signs, Gemini. All right. Ooh, luck is coming into your life. I'm a Gemini, so I'm excited about this. Now, luck is coming into our life. In fact, it's falling into your beak. It's falling into the opportunities all around you. So embrace the luck, embrace the new, embrace the rebirth is coming to you. Okay, Libra. Insight. So there might be something that you are learning right now that's going to help you in the long run. So it might be kind of frustrating right now that you're not able to eat this shrimp. Just keep putting the stones in until the shrimp comes up to the top. And so there might be some insight that you get right now, Libra, that's going to help you in the near future to achieve your goals. And last but not least, Aquarius. Memory. So, make sure that when you look at someone, you don't judge them just by their past. The present and the future is important as well. So it's easy for us to kind of sit back and place judgment on people and situations. So this card is about how these birds can remember people who are nice to them and people who are mean to them. So the other aspect is, be generous and caring with others, and they will remember that and reward you. All right, so overall energy for this time. Communication, that's what we're talking about. So awesome. New moon in Gemini, communication both on this earthly plane with our throat chakra, and in the heavenly plane with our soul star chakra. Communication, remember, it's both speaking and hearing. Okay, so thank you so much for coming to this energy reading for the new moon that's coming up here. And whenever you listen to this, it's a good time. It's when it's meant for you. And I really hope that you are able to grab onto these energies and move forward in your life. So come check out Spiritual Rebirth Sanctuary and the safety and security that we have to offer in your healing journey.